Chi, brush painting for beginners from Oriental Art Supply. It's getting close to holiday, Christmas, New Year's season. So we're going to do some red flowers. You can use it in so many different ways on your holiday cards or gifts. And today we're going to do Canna. So that one, no matter when it is, whether it's during the holiday, you want to do red flower, or you are in tropical mood, it's never out of style. Today's focus, we're going to talk about how do I do a red flower with different variations, color, to feature the color. And we are going to use our Bright Light, which is a Chinese watercolor, budget friendly. And I have all different palette to achieve my purpose. I have vermilion, carmine, true red, and rouge. And then I also have purple to add the deepness. And then on the center, I have yellow. And then I got indigo for partial of the leaves. And then yellow and indigo to make this green. So this is my palette. And I have water bowl and then my mixing plate. And then the two brush I'm going to use is our newer brush, which is Flying Swan. And we sold out our first batch. And then I just brought it back, hand carried from China. So if you are looking for a new brush, this is one of the medium to large brush. Not super large, hard to handle, but it's long and have more volume than majority of our large brush. And then I'm going to use our new brush, Morning Glory, as the center for the flower. If you like the sharp tip, this is the brush you would enjoy to have. And now and then the paper I'm using is Desert Mulberry. Has a little bit sizing to it, so I will show you how I play the sizing with wet on wet on the leaf part. So I'm going to start doing it now. So first that you wet your brush, and then you dry the whole brush so it doesn't get too much moisture. And then you wet the tip, because if everything is too dry, then you can move the stroke. So first I'm going to load the brush with vermilion. And then I dip with red. And I dip with carmine. So this is my first petal. Again, vermilion with red with carmine. And then my second petal is towards 11 o'clock, 11 o'clock. So it's a little bit higher than this one. So I'm going to do. So this is my second petal. My third petal, same color. So it's a little bit to the side. So I start with position my petal. So I'm using a little bit darker for the center. So I'm connecting this with this other one. So I go from inside out. So the last petal I go from. So there's a petal in the back. So while the petal is still semi-wet, so I'm going to do with the rouge. All right, so then I'm going to rinse my dark rouge out and just use my mixing plate to do the holder of the flower. So this just add the depth. And then I'm going to use the rouge with some purple. Make this dark. changed my mind. So I'm going to do side petal, a flower behind this flower. So then this flower will follow underneath here. And this particular petal has some partially bud, which is the color I just did and rinsed off, so I'm doing it again. So this is the bud coming in. So when I follow that, so now I'm rinsing my brush off completely. So now I'm going to touch some yellow with a little green. So I'm going to follow this. Now I'm using the green. Yellow first, and then green, indigo, green, and then tip off, and then I'm picking up some of this purple red. So I'm going to have a stalk of leaves coming down. So this is the thing that with this particular paper that it wasn't deep enough, so I can do wet on wet. All right, and then I'm going to use the green with the blue mix. I followed this line into here. And then I'm going to use the same brush, and I'm going to use some blues. Okay, on this side, I'm going to use a light blue. Okay, now I'm going back to my Morning Glory brush. I dip with the yellow and then a little bit vermilion. So I'm going to use this as center of my flower. So I finished my Canna, and you can do this much for a card size if you want to do a Christmas card, or you can do the whole thing for a composition for a gift.